And like even when I was going to camps, like it was older guys there that was making me better. Like Naya, Naya Washington. He was like that. I mean, he made Annapolis varsity as a freshman. That's how good he was.
I had to see his face.
Yeah,
Sound familiar.
that's JD Bottom. He was like that. I'm telling you. And I remember, so I'm from like 4th grade on up to 7th grade, 8th grade. I was going up against him. I wasn't doing anything now, but I was just getting abused by him all the time, and it made me better. You know what I'm saying? It just like I learned how to do this, do that, do that. I mean, that playing against him really helped me. Same thing, Rico Burke too. He was good. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are 4 or 5 years older than me, and they wasn't taking those. They wasn't taking any slack on me. You know what I'm saying? And then like my cousin, who's like a brother to me, he used to every weekend. He used to pick me up on Saturday nights, and we used to go play pickup. And he used to take me to go play pickup at Largo, and I used to go outside at Kingsford Elementary off Mitchellville, off Enterprise Road. And those two places, it helped me. I mean, I was in 8th grade, 9th grade playing against those grown men, and it was dogs out there.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You know how it is. Like these kids nowadays, we understand when we hoop at Southern, but we got 50 people on the sideline waiting to play. You got to win.
You better win, or you just get in your car.
Yeah, you better win. So being in that situation, that helped me a lot. Like it really helped me a lot, man. That's why I'm so big on kids playing pickup with old heads, because I've seen the benefits that it had for me and even some of my players. Sometimes I think that's better than dribbling. Dribbling around cones and stuff.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of pickup. Way more of a fan of pickup than the cones and the drills and stuff like that. Because obviously I can get down with the drills and I can do all of those things in a structured situation, but I come from just boogieing. Yeah. I didn't have to go around 40 cones and shoot at this spot from when I was young. I just didn't do that. You know what I mean? Until later on when I kind of fine-tune things. But I think pickup is definitely where it should be, like you said. So I have to totally agree with that one.
I loved it. And I'm saying they ain't take it easy on it either. They wasn't trying to fight me or nothing, but them jokers was, if I shot a dumb shot, if it's game point and I shoot it too, or if it's game point and I shot the ball, you know what I'm saying? I better make it.
You better make it.
I better
make it.
You gotta make it. But it made us tougher, it made me tougher. And if I had to do it all over again, I probably would do the same thing. There's no guarantee that I would even be one of those guys that played AAU in, 5th, 6th grade. Not knocking it, but I'm not sure if I even would do that route today.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So you making it towards the back half of middle school, almost approaching high school. You spoke on a couple guys so far, and we're gonna hear some of those names a little bit later on. I'm bringing back up when you're talking high school, as far as Milton and a couple of these other guys. Mm-hmm. But who were some people that you looked at around you, like around in your circle of playing, whether it was in the county or whoever you came across, that you considered the cream of the crop? If you could name a few people, like
from when I was playing
before high school, though, because a lot, like I said. Yeah, because it's a big distinct difference, because this group of people is usually what pushes you to get to the level that you're at when you get to high school. And some of these people could be honestly motivated pieces that they don't even know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I just always am curious to see and hear the names that were kind of that you thought were the cream of the crop, since you were one of the people that were in the pool of talent.
Well, it was easy. It was easy for me. Chadney Howard. Chadney Howard. I couldn't. When you told me I could go to a game and watch him play, Chadney was so good, man. It was ridiculous how good he was, and he was humble too. I was good friends with his brother. We played Little League together. We played high school together. So I was fortunate enough to be around Chadney. You know what I'm saying? And even though, he was a star and everybody knew Chadney and stuff like that, like he always looked up, and I always looked up to him. I really wanted his autograph. Mm-hmm. Dude named Vincent Barnett, he played at Southern too. He was good. Our family.
Hold on. I know that name, man. Where do I know that name from?
He was the
You like the
all-time.
second?
He was the
Yeah,
all-time leading scorer in the county for the longest time.
that's what it is. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it
he was,
is. Yep.
he was a dog too. He was a dog. So like I said, just going to watch him play. Corey Conti, just watching him play. And Russell Tongue. I know you know Russell.
Yes,
Russell
I
Tongue.
do.
And then Corey Davis. Even though Russell and Corey went to South River, they were real tight with Chatney and them. So I used to see them all the time. So, I would say that those five are the ones off the top of my head that really comes to mind as far as like influencing me in basketball.
Did you have a rival before you got to high school? Somebody that you looked at like, man, when I see this dude, everybody's talking about this dude. I'm gonna rip his head off when I see him. Was there somebody that was like that for you, or was it? I mean, it doesn't even got to be on that level. Like I got to rip his head off, but was it somebody that was like here that was your age that people may have been talking about that you was like, man, when I see him and I just got to do that to him? And did it ever happen?
Nah, the team now it was more teams back then. So
Okay.
when we used to play your brother with the All Stars,
Annapolis All Stars.
yeah, them and the Rebels, man. Those was intense games, man. I would love to see those games on film. Those were like intense games. So it really wasn't any individuals that I really was like kind of head up with, because I really was more focused on trying to be the best player in my class. Like you know what I mean? I was trying to be the best player in class of 99. Those guys were 98s and I enjoyed playing them, but I was doing that. Now I'm gonna tell you who was really good in my class, I'm tell you really good was Benji Evans. You ever heard of Benji Evans?
I've heard the name. I've never got the chance to meet him or anything, but I've heard that name several times.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. I forgot how long ago he's been dead, but he was in my class. Let me tell you something. Like that. When I say like that, like Benji, like I think Benji could have been a high major. Like just based on, I'm basing this off of how good he was in 8th grade. Like he was so strong. He was left-handed. He was mature. I mean, he could do anything. I mean, you ask anybody, ask Marcus, ask Hunt, you can ask any of them jokers, ask anybody in Annapolis about Benji Evans.
Benji definitely ask him.
Was a dog, and I couldn't imagine how good their team would have been if they had him and Neil and Thomas and Marcus on the same team. Because Benji was just as good as all of them.
So he was going to be in that. He was in that 98, 99 class, like you said.
Oh yeah, okay. Benji. Man, I'm telling you, Benji was not taking a back seat, and depending on who you ask, they might even say that they was better. He was better. Like, I'm telling you, like he was very, very good, man. He was very good. He didn't really play in high school like that, and he was just as good in football. I just could not imagine him in the backcourt with Thomas and Marcus on the wings. Hey, what?
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing with that.
That wouldn't have been fair. I mean, I'm telling you, Benji was the truth, man. It's sad that that the county never got a chance. I mean, we saw it in Little League. I met Benji in 8th grade, and we was tight ever since. Even out of school, we was tight after that. But I remember I had always kept hearing about. I had never heard of Benji. Then when I actually played my age group again, they kept telling me, "This like, man, you need this dude Benji." I was like, he can't be that good. Nah. I was like, nah.
He legit.
Yeah, I was like, nah. He legit. Nah, he was good, man.
No, that's what's up, man. Like I always like to ask that question because a lot of that is like the framework for where you go, like going forward. Like a lot of people that I ask, it's always usually some person or some dude that they pinpoint and they be like, yeah, because I remember when he was talking about him and I seen him at this tournament and I took his head off. I wasn't. So I'm always curious to see what the motivations were.
Yeah, I remember we played against them at Crofton Middle School, that terrible gym. And
yes.
That gym terrible. And I remember playing up there and I was like, I saw him play. I was like, oh my God, this dude in 8th grade? I'm like, man, this dude gonna be a problem. Then they like, oh no, he just as good in football. I was just like, all them dudes they had already, him and Rayvon in the field.
Yeah, that's crazy. RJ with a Ray-Ban was killing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't even imagine that. What was kind of, you would say, probably your brightest point in the game, probably right before high school? Like, because I know you said the Dematha camp that you kind of stood out in that camp, but what was kind of like the brightest spot that you say you would take from right before you got to high school in the sport?
I mean, the fact that Morgan Wooten wanted me to come there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the legendary Morgan Wooten is like after camp is telling me to hold up so we can have a talk with you know what I'm saying, with my mother. You know what I'm saying? And like looking back, at that age back then, I wasn't even thinking about that stuff, but just thinking about it now, like, dang, like this dude is a Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. And
Rest in peace.
he really actively like recruited me. And if it wasn't for distance, I might have went, to be honest.
Yeah. That's something. Man, that's something that everybody can't say, man. They got recruited by one of the best of all time, all throughout the sport, man. I had the opportunity to meet him at his camp. Meet his son. I'm sorry, I don't want to sit here and lie. I met his son at his camp when I was in high school, and just same as you at the Dematha camp, I won everything there, but the actual championship for the camp. I won 1-on-1, 3-on-3, All-Star MVP, everything, but the championship. But that was an interesting experience, and I got to really understand the mystic. I would say the mystique about him. Even though it's all certified that he's one of the best coaches, there was still that mystique that you walk around with. That, man, he's one of the best. So you got to kind of take that moment in and revere him for what it is. So to be recruited by him, everybody can't say that, and that's a remarkable feat, man.
I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I remember the assistant coach. It was Coach Smith. I remember his name, and he was like, "Come on, I want you." And I was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, geez.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get home because I've been up that joint all week.
Yeah, trying to get back.
I'm looking at it like, all right, man, Coach, I'm trying to get home, man. Looking at it now, like, dang. Yeah.
Man, listen, it's so crazy because I'm telling everybody now, Will is a humble guy. He's being very humble right now. We don't let our guests be humble, but Will is going to be humble, and I'm going to let him keep it humble right now.